This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so Tammy Cowan, she does a back and forth with 50 Cent. They're gathering information on this documentary. And also Gene Deal speaks about why he kind of fell back from the 50 Cent thing, because he had defended Meech at first. He says, Tammy Cowan, the truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. And then he puts up a text message back and forth, and he says, Tammy, did Meech know you were providing information when he was in Jessup Penitentiary? Yep. Well, in Jessup is when I met DEA for Terry White, Mr. Jack Harvey. This is when discussion started on he wish he could tell or give me something to give up to get him out, but his name couldn't be attached to it. They would kill him because of who he is. This is when I first told Jack Harvey, if Meech tell him where money is at, could they give him a 15-year time cut? Feds came back and said no, they will give him a 10% reward. I guess money's found. Meech said F that, the money rotten first. During Jessup is when he told me to go to Jack Harvey. He provided me the information. See, I told you. I've always told you that's how he met. That's how she met Jack Harvey. It's not a coincidence. She just met up with Jack. I mean, people are crazy, man. Yo, there's no evidence. There's no evidence. Are you guys like blind? Can you read? Do you think that she randomly ran into Jack Harvey and started cooperating, being linked to Meech, like randomly like that? Nothing's that random. It just isn't. She all of a sudden wanted to become a confidential informant? Like, come on. You guys are crazy, man. So anyways, then we got Gene Deal. So he starts to Gene Deal provides some type of information he might have found, but he didn't read the paperwork, I could tell, because he was saying somehow first he said, well, the end of it, he wraps it up where it's like where Meech received his time cut was convincing his brother not to go to trial, convincing the 5 people under him not to go to trial that he oversaw, and then pleading out and telling them everything with Terry, you know, and then admitting to your wrongdoings in a plea agreement. Maybe that's what got them a better time, right? And that was just them not going to trial, right? Saving the time and the money of a lengthy trial. But Meech never got a time cut for anything he did because none of it actually ended up going through. It was an attempt. We've already gone over this. Gene Deal starts talking about how Cuffy and Suarez, right? But he doesn't connect the dots because he didn't read the paperwork. If you read the paperwork, it clearly states that she started working with Cuffy at first for a movie deal, right? He was interested. He had a writer through MC Hammer's guy, and they were going to write the BMF story, and she had the life rights, so he dealt with her on it. Then, eventually, Meech had met this guy Suarez in 2006 when he was in Detroit, right? Suarez actually went home. Suarez was a drug trafficker. So, for some reason, Suarez and Meech would stay in touch. And eventually, Suarez just randomly calls Tammy's phone, and they start staying in touch. When Cuffy's in touch with Meech doing the movie stuff, he tells him to holla at Tammy and ask for Suarez's number. She says this clearly in Cuffy's paperwork, where it says, yeah, he called and said, dude told me to get the number. And I gave him the number, and I connected them. Now, Gene Deal says they didn't go after this. They went a different route with it, because if they went after this introduction, they would have to retry Meech. That's true. They would have. So what they chose to do is, it actually kind of fell in their lap, because once Cuffy and Suarez started dealing with each other, Cuffy ended up cheating Suarez out of money on their first deal, right? And Agent Cromer, the guy who took over from Jack Harvey and was smashing Tammy Collins and paying her, and it was sloppy because they were having sex and he was paying her out of government money. The whole thing was sloppy, so it kind of fell apart. But they got Cuffy because when the deal went bad with Suarez, and he's like, oh, I'm not dealing with him anymore. He didn't pay me all the money. Cuffy got greedy. It's his own fault. Asked for another connect from Tammy, like she's some drug kingpin, and she's not. He just was greedy and sloppy, like a lot of drug dealers are. Okay, no offense, but it's just true, because you want to keep that train going. And Cromer gave her a contact for another confidential informant that was, someone to deal with to get some work, and they did some deals. They got wiretaps going and everything, and Cuffy got arrested, and that's that. And I guess the whole case with Meech just fell apart. I mean, for the whole part with Meech connecting Suarez and why Suarez never got pulled in is because that end of it got messed up because Cromer and Tammy got caught smashing, and I think that invalidated a lot of the work they had done to do the initial connection. But at that point, the confidential informant that Cromer connected him with, I think, was out of St. Louis. So it was under the St. Louis office. It wasn't under the Atlanta office. So everything with Big Meech and the initial connection was done through the Atlanta office. And I think that case just got thrown out because of the infidelity. And, you're not supposed to be a DEA agent smashing the informant. The damning thing here is the intent. So there's going to be no paperwork. Blatantly, she contradicted herself in the paperwork, because at one point in the paperwork she tried to save Meech still and says, "Oh, Meech never, told me to do anything, or he had nothing to do with this." But you already implicated him when you said earlier in the paperwork, she said Suarez said to get Cuffy's number, Buddy. They call him Buddy, right? And then Cuffy refers to Meech's buddy as well to get Suarez's number, right? So right then and there, he's implicated. But it is what it is, like if 50 Cent does the Tammy documentary and it comes out, it's going to be a he said, she said thing, unless she has tapes and stuff. If she has tapes, which she might, she seems very thorough with a lot of stuff she does, then it's a different ball game. You can't really run from that. But at this point, I think Meech would probably deny everything and then just say it's not true. And it's up to you if you want to believe it or not. I believe there was some intent there. I mean, he had been in jail for a while and started missing outside, Not everybody's so stand up. And, you always got to question, why doesn't Terry come out, or anybody? Why does Jeezy stay away? Why does T.I. stay away? They respect what he did in the past, but sometimes people change, especially when they go to jail. It doesn't, you can still respect someone from a certain time period and prior because they were stand up then, and that's that. So it is what it is. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll check you out in the next one. Peace.